the garden. There are plants and fruit there if you're hungry.
Ah!
Don't fancy greens, huh? The Mary tried to teach me some knots. I think she likes passing on her knowledge to me. She said she'll try and teach pigs to fly next. Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary. She holds her position herself. Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary. Some gnome engineers wanted to fine-tune Mary in appreciation of our victory against Mortroga. But Mary doesn't like gadgets, and I'm happy with her the way she is. When the Mary belonged to the Red Pirate, he didn't just use her for pleasure trips. They did some work now and again, as this cage proves. The Elf Burrow is one of the most beautiful spots imaginable. But a golden prison is still a prison. As soon as I've picked up Critter, I'm out of here. Perhaps we'll fly to... whatever. We're free. We can fly to wherever we want. Critter, what have you done now?
Evil.
Ivo's mother? Oh. Come on, let's get you out of there first. All right. Darn elven magic. Yes, I'll get help. Wait here. Damn elven magic. Hey, Critter, can't you somehow slip out of there? You can usually squeeze through most gaps. The thorns, I see. There's got to be a way. All right. It was worth a try. A heavy plank of wood. Not very long, but quite fat. Just like the Mary. No trace of arbor, but he left this ball of string lying here. Perhaps he was going to tie up bushes with it or something. Shorty won't mind, I think. I've never been very interested in plants, but there are things in this garden I've never seen anywhere else. Those two plants there, for example, it looks as though they're strangling one another. At school, I had a teacher who hit us across the fingers with something like that when we were naughty. I stayed the full 2 weeks nonetheless. Education is the key to success. We waited for ages until Ivo's mother finally left the palace. Then it was pool time. Critter and me cannonballed in from the balcony. Ivo was torn between outrage and laughter. That's strange. When I was here last, that tree looked a lot happier. During my time here, I sat in this library many times enjoying a good book. Not. According to Ivo, these are swords belonging to some of those who have tried to conquer the woodland realm. Nowadays, everyone knows it's better not to pick a fight with elves. The king and queen keep gifts given to them by delegations from far-off lands in this room. Some of them are rather bizarre. I nearly got arrested once because of a flower like that. I didn't know why they're forbidden almost everywhere, until I heard someone playing one for the first time. I've only had dealings with a dragon once. The dear thing wasn't really all there, and completely harmless. Critter claims he doesn't know Ollie, but the family resemblance can't be denied. I'll have to be careful. If the queen catches me, there'll be no leniency.
I couldn't allow him to propose to you. What sort of life would you have? You'd have lost him so soon, maybe just 50 years after marrying him. Or were you planning to go into the world with him and get old just like him? That would be terrible, and I told him as much. If one truly loves someone, then it's sometimes better to let them go. You know that I can be very convincing. The human spirit is weak. And perhaps there was a tiny bit of magic involved too. If only I'd known that it was already too late.
That darn witch! It all sounded so right. I was already across the sea when it became clear to me that I might have made the biggest mistake of my life. No wonder Ivo hates me. Her mother must never have told her what happened, or she blamed me for everything. During my time here, I sat in this library not. People say the water has a healing effect. Perhaps I should take 1 or 2 barrels of it with me and sell it. The Queen must have ordered the sentries to let the Mary pass. So long as she doesn't give any orders to the contrary, we should be able to enter and leave the woodland realm at any time. When your girlfriend's mother is an elf priestess, and you want to make a good impression, you shouldn't call this a swimming pool in front of her. But I meant it in a good way. I even invited her and Ivo's father to join us. I had to listen to a quite long and, to be honest, slightly hostile lecture about this being a holy moon well. But what if your sweaty feet are longing for a cool down after a long day? What do you do then? My good arguments were ignored. I think Ivo has never really got on with her mother, but she has always respected her. Her mother is very hard-working, very conscientious, very clever, but I think Ivo would have liked a bit more affection and warmth from her. I don't know if I'd have been happy here with Ivo. His place is beautiful, of course, but nothing changes, or only unbelievably slowly. And who would want to live in his parents-in-law's house where time practically stands still? I had to listen to a quite long... But what if my good... Bob is still sitting where I left him months ago. Of course, he's not really called Bob, but his elven name is too complicated and long to remember. And he likes Bob. Hey, Bob.
Nate, my boy, what are you doing here?
I rescued Ivo from Tugator, the flying pirate island, and brought her back here, more or less.
Oh, so you're getting on well again.
It's too late for that. Trust me.
It is never too late for that. Trust me.
Your wife has hexed Ivo and imprisoned Critter. I'll free both of them and
I would counsel you to patience, my impetuous friend. What has happened?
The Queen found Ivo in the garden. She's pregnant. Did you know that?
I hope that you are speaking of Ivo and not my wife. Of course I knew.
She's put Ivo into a kind of deep sleep.
Theodora knows wise decisions take time. It isn't a simple sleep. It's a kind of time out. For Ivo, time is standing still until her mother brings her back.
And when will that be?
As soon as she knows how she's going to deal with the situation. That could take months, or even years.
Years? She's got no right to do that. We have to bring Ivo back.
Just like the polecat butters the bread of the barn owl.
How can we wake Ivo up?
Without the help of her mother, impossible.
Then we'll have to force her. She can't keep Ivo imprisoned against her will.
You won't have any luck. Fiora will defend her daughter. She thinks she's doing the right thing. But if you can make her see that she was not acting in Ivo's best interests, then I'm sure she would let her go.
I should talk to her?
Oh, you'd be dead before you'd stuttered out your first sentence.
Hey! I eavesdropped on the Queen. She never told Ivo what happened, right?
What happened? You just disappeared one night.
It was all your wife's fault. She hexed me. I was going to propose to Ivo. The Queen intercepted me and whispered something in my ear.
Her words would have just washed over you had they not found something which they were able to catch hold of.
I thought long and hard about whether I should propose to Ivo. I loved her, but I also loved my freedom.
Gods and the wise call that getting cold feet.
So she could manipulate me because of my feet?
She magnified your doubts and let you lose sight of what was really important, your love for Ivo.
But I didn't want her to have to watch me die. And I certainly didn't want her to come with me out into the world and grow old and die herself.
Would it have not been up to my daughter what sacrifices she would be willing to make for you? She is, after all, the more intelligent one.
Well, Archmage Alistair's been turned into a frog. by a certain Van Buren, some little brat running through Seastone and transforming everything.
A little girl transformed the Archmage?
Yes. No idea how she managed it. Ivo said something about Wilbur's wand. And he's in the Dark Woods looking for a book that explains how it can be destroyed. In the meantime, Ivo wanted to organize a few things needed to bring the Archmage back.
What sort of things?
Some book from Lorem Ipsum.
The Book of the Dead?
Yep, that was the one. Then we need a compass that belongs to the Red Pirate, and something called the Spark of Life. That's why she came back here.
I see. It's crucial we turn Alistair back quickly. He might have answers.
After I left the Elfborough, my head still told me I'd done the right thing. I wouldn't condemn Ivo to a life with me, and a goodbye would have been too painful for both of us.
But your heart told you that you were a fool.
Later, I thought I'd found a solution. I'd find a way to live forever. Then I could marry Ivo and we'd never be separated.
Your heart was right. You are a fool.
You said Alistair might have answers. To what?
Something is stirring. A great evil. I have felt it for a while now.
The little brat with the wand?
No. Something older, greater, and a great danger for you, for Ivo, for everyone.
That doesn't sound good. But I wouldn't even know where to start. Ivo didn't tell me very much. Or perhaps I didn't listen.
I have the spark of life here. I will give it to my daughter as soon as she wakes. I can't help you with the compass, though. But I saw the lost city of Lorem Ipsum with my own eyes, long, long ago.
If I were to look for Lorem Ipsum, where would I find the ruins of the city?
Under the sands of the Umzu Desert.
Oh, really? Could you be a bit more precise? The desert's pretty big.
I can't remember the exact location. I set out from the Bremen oasis, went into the desert, and just followed my nose. After a few days, I saw the golden roofs of the town glinting in the sun as it set behind them.
So Lorem Ipsum is west of Bremen. But how far into the desert? How many days did you walk, and how quickly?
It was 3,500 years ago. What did you do last Thursday?
West of Bremen. That's a start. Ivo seems to have coped well with me leaving her. Seems to have been in a rush to find herself an elven prince.
No, she didn't take it well. She was hurt and disappointed. And no, she didn't throw herself around the neck of any elf prince.
I don't even want to know. I'd always loved her, but it seemed to have been quite one-sided. Your wife trapped Critter in the garden. Some thorny tendrils grew out of the ground, imprisoning him.
Oh, an old trick that all priests have up their sleeve.
So novices couldn't sneak out of rituals early, eh?
But the tendrils are very ticklish, especially under the arms.
They... All right, then. Take care, Bob. I'll see what I can do to help Ivo and Alistair, or if I can.
I see a man with a mission of great importance that he would like to complete.
Like? All that work? All that danger? The stress? You've got the same attitudes towards stress as I have.
I can see through you, Nate. You made your decision long ago. You just haven't realized it. To do good. Be part of something bigger. Help others. We all need goals in our lives. And the greater the goal, the greater the reward.
I don't know what you're talking about, old man. Bob needs his sleep. I'm only supposed to disturb him if there's something new to report. The tree is legendary. I knew of it long before I met Ivo. The Tree of Life, as it's called, is attributed all kinds of powers. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw it for the first time. To me, it looks like a completely normal, tall tree. One day, Ivo's child will rule over all of this. I'll be long dead by then. It might have never heard of me. I had to listen to a quite long, but what... Fishing rod? Nah, too obvious. A fishing rod? Nah, too obvious. We waited for ages until Ivo's mother finally left the palace. Then it was pool time. Critter and me cannonballed in from the balcony. Tickle, tickle, tickle. No problem. Now you go and wait on the Mary, okay? Critter attacked this beehive one night. He claims to this day that it was the sweetest triumph of his life. But it was 3 days before the swelling from the bee stings went down. The top hat might have been a present from a kobold delegation, although it's a bit too big for that. The top hat might... Lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum. I don't want to assume that they don't have a book on it here, but even if they do, it won't mention where it is. Explorers and treasure hunters have been looking for the city for centuries. Ollie used to be a bookmaker. Got involved with the wrong people. Ivo says I just make all this up. I've never really understood why it's all right to cut off dragons' heads. Dragons are rational beings, not a nice tradition. What I'd really like to do is go up there, give the old boot a slap round the face, and get Ivo out of this place. But Ivo's mother is a powerful priestess. She's probably got a dozen ways she could incapacitate me without me even noticing. I have to be careful. Maybe I can lure the queen onto the balcony, grab Ivo, and... No. Where would we go? Ivo's mirror. When I was here, her fat bird sat in front of it most of the time. Cheep Cheep, Ivo's bird. We don't get along. He's a puffed-up rooster, and he says the same of me. It looks like she's asleep. But her father said it's more than just sleep. Time's standing still for her. Why did she suddenly put Ivo to sleep? Did Ivo keep the fact that she's pregnant secret even from her parents? Could that even be the reason that she left Elfborough? The Oracle on Tugador can look through all reflective surfaces. This is going to be a real feast for him. He loves drama. A fishing rod? Nah, too obvious. It was his job to keep me away from Ivo. He made that more than clear any time I got close. I wish he'd done the same after I left. The top hat might... People say the water has a healing effect. Perhaps I should take 1 or 2 barrels of it with me and sell it. When I first got the Mary, I understood absolutely nothing about her mechanics. Now I understand at least twice as much. One of my goals in life is to never be a prisoner in my own cage again. The Elfborough is one of the most beautiful spots imaginable. But a golden prison is still a prison. Hey, Critter.
Huh?
You take over for a bit. I've got some thinking to do.
Facciamo, Muffin! Gotcha! Boom! ¿Escuchas? Con la labor. Box. Mary.
Hello, Critter. Everything okay with you and Captain Nate?
Facciamo, Luca.
That's good. You just look after him for me, won't you? It always worries me when he tries to act the hero. Hello, Critter. Everything okay with you?
Facciamo, Luca.
That's good. You just look after him for... It always...
Angela, oh! Ooh. Neat. Shaila.
The Red Pirate kept asking me again and again about his costumes when I was drinking with him. I didn't have the heart to tell him we used some of them as oil rags. The Mary consumes huge amounts of coal, for the oven, but primarily for the steam engine. The Miners' Guild promised to give me free coal for the Mary for the rest of my life at the end of the war. When I reminded them, a rather grim-faced dwarf said that the whole thing was meant to be symbolic. Many promises were made in the rush of victory and later not kept. Provisions are low. If we sail around much longer, we'll have to get supplies from somewhere, or Critter will have to eat less. Tinned peaches. Oh, empty. A sailor's uniform with a hat and a duck beak made of card. Nope, they're not going to help me in the current situation. Ivo tidied up here when we flew back from the Wildlands. At least that's what she called it. In reality, all she did was bring confusing order to my orderly disorder. Navigation isn't a complicated science. I choose a place on the map I'd like to fly to, then I tell the Mary the name of the place and she flies me there. I don't know why other people find it so difficult. All right then. That's the desert where Lorem Ipsum must be. Wait a minute. I must have a more detailed map of the area somewhere here. The Umzu Desert isn't all sand. There are stony mountains, gorges, and salt lakes. The one thing they have in common is that it's darn hot. That's the old oasis of Bremen. Ivo's father set off westwards from this town and reached Lorem Ipsum at some point. The problem is, I don't know how far west of Bremen the ruins are. The area is large, and if I'm unlucky, the ruins are completely covered in sand. I have to reduce the search area somehow. That's the old oasis of Ivo. The problem, the area. A pile of maps, diaries, travelogues and stuff. I was looking for things that promise eternal life. The Holy Grail, the Philosopher's Stone, the Fountain of Youth, that kind of thing. Harder to find than you'd think. That's why I had the idea with the gin. At least I knew where to look for him. Wasn't there a book on lorem ipsum here? That's it. I like looking for lost things and solving long-hidden secrets. It's not really honest piracy, but Critter and I just want to be treasure hunters. People always think that pirates don't care about their appearance. But that's not true. We're just as sensitive as everyone else when it comes to what we look like. You finally managed to get a good beard going. Then people say you looked better without. I've seen alchemic lab benches and building sites with less stuff than this dressing table. Perfume atomizers, face powder, makeup? Nothing of any use at the moment. Perfume atomizers, face powder... Mary and me like a bit of banter. She says I haven't got a clue about flying airships, and that we only stay in the air because she ignores my commands. Ha! Hey, Mary.
Captain Nate?
What's our course, helmsman? Woman? Ship?
We are at anchor in the harbour and don't have a course.
Oh, play along. You know I like all that nautical stuff.
Course set 2456 degrees north-south, Captain.
Very good. Keep course.
Yes, sir, Captain.
It looks as if we'll be off on our next adventure soon, Mary. Lorem Ipsum, the Lost Desert City.
I'll travel to the end of the world with you, but I'm driving.
Ivo's mother. She's simply switched her off. How dare she?
Switched her off?
Magic elven stuff. If I could, I'd go up there and...
You are not a fighter, Captain Nate. You are... No, wait a moment, you're not really a thinker either. What exactly are you?
A doer, Mary. A doer. All right. Let me know if there's a problem.
And then?
Most of the communication between a captain and his ship's nonverbal. We'll leave it at that for now. All right, then. Cast off.
Stop this thing.
Nope, me neither. I think we all know who's responsible for that.
Put it up.
Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary. She holds her position herself. Hey, Critter.
Huh?
Forget it. I've got everything under control.
Take a look.
Are you still hungry?
Nah.
We should do something about that. I remember that from my childhood. You connect the cans with a string and can talk to someone across several meters, just like you could without the cans. Away we go. Cast off. I wonder whether... Here. That's what I was looking for. The book describes what the symbols mean. The first one is... a kind of angular stone? Gemstones, jewels. That's a promising start. The second symbol... Desert. Yeah, makes sense. The city is somewhere in the Umzu Desert. Next. Feet? What have feet got to do with it? Can you only reach the city by foot? The next symbol... 3. 3 feet. That's unusual. Perhaps the last symbol will make it clear. Mountains. Jewels, desert, mountains. The jewel of the desert at the foot of the 3 mountains. That's it. Lorem ipsum. The city with roofs of gold is the jewel of the desert, and it lies at the foot of 3 mountains. And these 3 mountains must be west of Bremen. That should be easy to find. The top hat might have been... When we found out how the Oracle knew so much about the world, we had a laugh sitting on mirrors with our trousers down. We had to stop doing it when he started making intentionally wrong prophecies. We waited for ages until Ivo's mother finally... Then it... Critter and me... I had to listen to it. But what if my good ar- Bob needs his sleep. I'm only supposed to disturb him if there's something new to report. Not many mortals have seen the Tree of Life, and those that have were crowned heads or wise men. I've even sat in its shade next to the king and shared 1 or 2 bottles of apple wine with him. I mean, with the king. Away we go. Wilbur comes from around there. Mainly just dwarves and gnomes live there. The White Ridge Mountains are too cold for humans. After everything Ivo told me, Seastone is a no-go at the moment. Better that we're not seen there without the Archmage. His human version, I mean. I met Critter in the Northlands. Nice people up there. Penguins, mainly. I met Critter in the nice... Cast off! You stay here. Prepare the cannons, and be ready to rescue me if necessary.
Give me the damned elf immediately!
There's no damned elf here. Get lost.
An unhealthy, artificial-looking, oversweet, fatty parody of a foodstuff. Wonderful!
Hey, what are you doing there?
I'm, admiring the fine delicacies.
Those aren't for you. They're for my guests. If you want to take part, I'm gonna have to make you pretty first.
No, that's all right. I'll keep my hands off your guests' food. As unhealthy and delicious as it might look, I'm not going to risk being transformed for it. When Ivo told me about Seastone, I could hardly believe it. Even if the power of the brat's sorcerer grandpa is concentrated in the wand, where did he get all the power from? That's wrong. Impressive, but wrong. That's some transformation. There must be powerful magic at work. It looks like the old hag doesn't dare venture into the palace. Not a bad idea considering the toys the Red Pirates got in there. It looks like the old hag doesn't dare... I'd better not speak to her. She could turn me into a small, hairy, pink critter in the blink of an eye. And who would want something like that hanging around? That's the 3rd biggest flower I've ever seen. It's a powerful kid's magic that can force grown men to sit at tiny tables and pretend they like tea. Fortunately, I'm immune. The brat's keeping a watchful eye on the little snack for her guests. I won't get anywhere near it as long as she's here. Colorful cloths. They don't seem to fulfill any purpose, apart from being colorful. Not much escaped the brat's magic. This hammer is one of the lucky few.
Just one more piece! Just one more little piece and you've done it!
Hey, Eyes!
Nate, nice to see you again.
Come on! Knowing you, you never lost sight of me!
Your life wasn't so boring over the past few years, I must admit. Good season.
I half expected to find you transformed into a huge ball of fluff with big goggle eyes.
The council leader and the charming Chantal are concentrating their attention on the palace. Fortunately.
I guess you also want her off the island as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. I like tragedies, but I've never wanted to be in one.
You know why I'm here?
Of course, Princess Ivo. Oh, look at her. Isn't it sad? An elf in the prime of her life, sleeping away her best years.
I'm going to prevent that from happening.
And I hope you're successful. This is more boring than watching the cricket.
Ivo's father said I can't rescue Ivo against her mother's will.
That would be a bad idea. Although I'd like to see what would happen if you tried.
So how can I convince Ivo's mother that she's not acting in her daughter's best interests?
Isn't she? The future's in constant flux. Even I can't see it clearly in my mirrors. A powerful priestess like her might be able to see more, but clearly she doesn't want to.
She thinks Ivo's thrown her life away, and she thinks it's impossible that she could be happy with a child, or with me.
A difficult task that you... come on, number 3! Run! Come on! Yes! Sundancer 1!
Ivo's pregnancy. Do you know who... you know?
Ivo said you weren't the father, but if not you, who?
I'm not the Oracle with 100 eyes. How should I know who it is?
Eyes that are blind if there's no reflective surface nearby. Ivo seemed very surprised by the news herself. She spoke of a curse that might have struck her.
A curse? Yeah, sure. Can I have that mirror?
Of course not!
I could always keep an eye on Ivo with it, and maybe it'll come in useful some other way.
It's already useful. It means I can see what happens next in the story. Anyway, I've never given any of my mirrors away. They are rare collector's items.
You collect mirrors? Rewind, delete, stupid question. Can I have that mirror?
Of course not!
I could always keep an eye.
It's already useful. Anyway.
You collect. Rewind, delete, stupid question. I gotta go.
Yes, go! Henceforth!
Thousands of lives are taking place behind these mirrors. Tragedies, comedies, and quite a lot of everyday life. Some happy children playing in a garden. Ivo's mother refuses to believe that Ivo's children could have a happy future too. Who cares if the future queen has an illegitimate child? Well, apart from me. Some happy children playing in a... well... Some mirrors show different scenes the whole time, others always show the same.
The connection between two mirrors is sometimes stronger and sometimes weaker. This one here has a particularly strong connection to the mirror in Ivo's room. Just look how clear the picture is.
About the mirror.
Just a second, something exciting's happening. I can't miss this.
Oh, good gods. About the mirror.
Just a sec.
Oh, good gods. Hello?
Yes? What is it?
I gotta go.
Yes.
Violence is never the solution. In my experience, the absurd combination of bizarre objects is the solution. Always. Violence is never the solution. In my experience, the absurd combination of bizarre objects is the solution. Always. The flower is too pretty and smells too good to just be left alone. As unhealthy and delicious as it might look. I like Critter, but I don't want to pick out curtains or anything. Here, for you. Perfume atomizers, face powder, makeup. A rabbit costume with a fluffy tail and ears to match. I'd have liked to have seen Ivo in that. Unfortunately, the critter never wanted to hand it over. A purple tentacle costume. It's Critter's, not the Red Pirates. Critter claimed it was actually useful once. Most of the communication... It's hard to believe, but a whole cupboard full of costumes isn't gonna help me at the moment. Hey, Critter.
Huh?
You take over for a bit. I've got some thinking to do.
Facciole, Luca. Mons, fats. Purelur. Mary. Noxic. Escuchas, culalabo. Uy. Wait! Escuchas, culalabo. Wait!
A straight thin reed. A heavy plank of wood. Not very long, but quite fat. Just like the Mary. You can hear in one can what someone else says into the other can. It's a distance communicator. Not my style. Too crazy. A huge flower. It's giving off an absolutely disgustingly sweet smell. Lorem ipsum, the jewel of the desert at the foot of the three mountains. And I know from Ivo's father that the city must be somewhere west of Bremen. I should actually be able to locate its position on a map. Three mountains west of Bremen. I bet Critter's next meal that the jewel of the desert is at the foot of these mountains. I'll mark the place on the big map. That's the old oasis of Bremen. It was already there at the time of Lorem Ipsum. Today it's a pretty little town. That's the old oasis. There hasn't been an airship visiting Lorem Ipsum for centuries, perhaps millennia, if ever. Time to pay a call to the old city. That must be it. Lorem Ipsum. And it looks like someone has already dug it up for us.
Purelur.
According to legend, Lorem Ipsum had golden roofs. I can only see a pile of old stones. Hey, Critter.
Huh?
Forget it. I've got it.
Tokaluk.
The whole slab is covered with characters. Hieroglyphs, something that looks like Old Dwarvish, and normal letters. At viro eos et accusum et justo duo dolores et ea rebum. That's the same forgotten language as in the Lorem Ipsum text. I found a very similar stone head in the Northlands and took it with me. But there's no way it could be from the same stonemasons. We're thousands of miles from the Northlands. The sand has protected the statues over the millennia. If they'd been exposed to the wind, there'd be nothing left of them but sand. A semicircular depression. There are lines and numbers carved into the stone on the inside. Perhaps some kind of calculation? Or something religious? A massive stone plinth with a piece of rotten wood in the middle. I know that old stone columns often have a wooden core to keep the individual pieces of the column in place. The obelisk clearly had something similar that gave up the ghost at some point. An obelisk. It must have been lying in the sand for millennia, like everything else. No idea what that is. A semicircular depression. There are lines and numbers carved into the stone on the inside. Perhaps some kind of calculation? Or something religious? I can't imagine the whole pyramid was covered in sand. In that case, all this must have been more than 100 meters under the floor of the desert. I know lots of people find pyramids impressive, but what's the big deal? You pile up blocks into a heap. I could already do that when I was a kid. Maybe not as big, but the principle's the same. The Book of the Dead could be anywhere. Knowing my luck, it's right under this pile of stones. A massive thing. I wonder if the mummy pulled it out here on his own. The little guy doesn't look that strong. The sarcophagus is gold-plated. In normal circumstances, I would pocket some of the gold. But it's a bit different if the inhabitant of the sarcophagus is full of beans and still needs it. A mummy with a small spade. I wonder.
Mortimer.
No, I'm Nate. That's Critter.
But I seek Mortimer.
Here? Under the sand?
Why aren't you Mortimer?
I, don't know. Who are you?
I am... Isn't the question more, who are you?
I'm Nate, like I already said.
So you are neither Mortimer, nor that elf who was pretending to be Mortimer.
That... Yes, I can confirm that.
So many people. I can't possibly remember all these names. I will call you... Nate.
I can live with that. Who is this Mortimer you're looking for?
Mortimer fetched me out of the darkness many years ago. I lived with him until he disappeared.
And now you're looking for him here?
Looking for whom?
That Mortimer.
You've seen him? I've been looking for him everywhere.
I'm looking for a book.
I've seen one lying on Mortimer's desk.
I'm looking for a particular book. The Book of the Dead.
Oh, but that's just a legend. That book apparently explains how one can bestow everlasting life on people by wrapping them up in gauze bandages.
Assuming it wasn't a legend, where would the Book of the Dead be hidden?
Ah, the Book of the Dead. Some say it is mere legend, but I have seen it many times. It was put into the tomb of the last pharaoh of Lorem Ipsum, the mad Tut-Tut.
Don't tell me you dug this huge hole.
All right.
I mean, why did you dig it?
I'm not meant to say.
You can tell me. What's the hole all about?
Yes, about that. Why did you dig it?
I didn't. You did.
Of course. I wanted to go home.
So you're from Lorem Ipsum.
Yes. It must be here somewhere.
Have you had a look around?
Ah! Lorem Ipsum! What a coincidence! I was born here, you know.
What can you tell me about Lorem Ipsum? What was life here like?
Oh, wonderful. We've always had good weather. We built the most beautiful temples with the most fiendish traps. Sold them all around the world and made a lot of money from that.
You sold temples with built-in traps?
Of course. Walls that suddenly come together and squash any intruder. Invented here in Lorem Ipsum. We had breeding programs for scorpions and tarantulas. And we issued a 3,000-year guarantee for our traps.
That means your traps could still work today?
Traps? What traps?
Don't mummies have their brains removed during embalmment?
That's funny. I could swear that I've heard that question somewhere before.
I bet. And this Tut-Tut, where is he buried?
He is lying under a mighty pyramid. Just like that one over there. Actually, now that I think about it, it's exactly like the one over there. What do you think? Why would someone put a pyramid here that looks exactly the same as Tut-Tut's?
How do you get into Tut-Tut's pyramid?
Who is Tut-Tut? And what's this pyramid you're talking about?
Ah, forget it.
What should I forget?
I found this stone slab. What does it say?
It says, "Thank you for your decision to buy this pyramid model World Wonder." In 3 languages.
It's an operating manual?
Our lost temples could get rather complicated.
Does it say how to open the pyramid?
Terms of use, guarantee, washing instructions. Ah, there. Erect pyramid facing exactly north. Position obelisk A in depression G on stone socket B with the help of wooden peg F. We recommend the use of slaves for erection, not included in this delivery. Every day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the shadow of the obelisk will point to the stone which opens the secret entrance.
Why doesn't it just say which stone you have to press? Who would write something like this? I've got to go. And you? You might want to get out of the sun for a couple of hours.
I've not got time for breaks. I'm looking for a pyramid. It must be here somewhere.
No idea what that is. I guess that's the obelisk mentioned in the operating manual. At least I can't see another one. Without a replacement for the wooden pin, the obelisk won't stay on the plinth. According to the operating manual, there's a place you have to press to open an entrance into the pyramid. but I can't just try and find it by looking around. That would take forever. Hey, Critter.
Huh?
You take over for a bit. I've got some thinking to do.
Faccione, Luca. Harsot quello. Mamma. Elevators.
You are so hairy.
Sarà lupo?
No wonder it took me so long to find you. I almost didn't recognize you.
Crescutos con la labo.
You think? Well, we can try. But I really don't know why there would be a hairdresser down there.
Harsot quello. Podalo put. Tick-tock. Podalo put. Shucks. Pull up to Sprunsham. Ui. E la frequata d'agua.
Thank you.
Podalo put.
What's up?
Zochkoch, levo.
I don't know. That woman drives me crazy.
Lila.
Why do two great guys like us have such bad luck with our girlfriends?
Wait.
Yeah, all right. I'll take over. Sand and shimmering air as far as the eye can see. Makes you wonder why Lorem Ipsum was built here. Not only are you hungry, but now you're too hot as well. Isn't life unfair? It's hard to believe, but a whole cupboard full of costumes isn't gonna help me at the moment. Most of the communication... All right, then. Lorem Ipsum, the legendary lost city in the desert. Cast off. People say the water has a... good captain always has the most important maps memorized, and so do I. The top hat might have been a present from a kobold delegation. Although, it's a bit... The top hat... Bob said that only she can wake Ivo up, and no one can force her. Her mother could leave her in this state for months, or even years. I have to wake her up. She doesn't deserve this, despite everything that's happened. I have to convince her that she's not acting in Ivo's best interest. She doesn't want to damage her daughter or cause her unnecessary pain. The top hat might have been a present from a kobold. Away we go. Cast off. A heavy plank of wood. Not very long, but quite fat. Just like the Mary. Nope, I don't need to moor. It looks like the old hag doesn't dare venture into the palace. Not a bad idea considering the toys the Red Pirates got in there. Lady Van Buren, I assume.
Yes? Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Wayne Schlegel from the Seastone Life and Accident Insurance Company.
What do you want here?
There was an accident here. A pirate lost an eye. Now he has to wear a wooden leg. There was clearly a problem in processing the claim.
There's no one here anymore. Apart from that damned red pirate and the elf he's hiding.
Elf? What elf?
A thieving elf! She robbed me while I had to deal with the rest of her kind.
You've been to Elfborough? I heard it's supposed to be very pretty at this time of year.
We couldn't get in. Protective charms that not even my little darling could do anything about.
What a shame.
And then I go back home and find I've been robbed by that damned elf and her mob. They will suffer the consequences.
You seem to have considerable magical power at your command, madam. Why don't you just magic the elf out of there?
If it were really so simple, do you really think I'd be wasting my precious time here? That red scoundrel threatened us! Us! He has a magic weapon in there! Ancient, divine magic which even my Chantal can't do anything against.
Perhaps I could go in there and talk to the Red Pirate. I'm an insurance salesman. No one would dare do anything to an insurance salesman.
That's true. And every hour that I waste here prevents me from taking care of the transformation of the country. Go in. Convince that old scoundrel.
What you've done with this island is very impressive, Lady Van Buren. Just like in Seastone, you and your daughter are a real asset to this land.
Thank you very much. Politicians so seldom receive the thanks that's due to them. One works tirelessly for years on end for oneself and one's friends, and do the electorate thank you for it? No.
Sad. Very sad. Then I may take my leave, Lady Van Buren?
Yes, yes.
Stop! Stop right there!
Whoa, whoa, easy does it. Put that thing away.
Nate? Have you seen what they've done to my island?
Let me guess. You've redecorated, so the pirates that fled come back.
Oh, it was that little brat and her mother. Turned up here saying I should hand over the elf.
And you explained politely that the elf is no longer here and that unfortunately you can, as such, be of no help.
I kicked them out. Then they started transforming my island. They would have got me too if I didn't have the head.
I see you were at least able to rescue the statues.
Statues? They're my friends. Tell him.
Friends!
I brought them in here long before them witches came. A man shouldn't be alone. Isn't that right, Martha?
Right.
Yeah. I've even heard of people who went mad because they had no one to talk to.
Can't happen to me. I've got friends and things that are on the up.
Friends?
Van Buren's convinced that Ivo's still here. I'm supposed to persuade you to hand her over.
I'd do that at a drop of a hat. That elf is in league with dark forces. She was trying to drive me crazy. Do you hear what she said about the invisible force that determines what we do?
Van Buren isn't going to believe that Ivo's not here.
You've got to get that old bag off my island, Nate. You have to.
I'm here because I need the spirit compass.
What? Not because you missed my company?
And because I've missed your company, but mainly the compass. A friend of mine won't find their way out of the realm of the dead without it.
I don't care about that. It's my compass. Right, Pierre?
Right.
You see?
How about I get Van Buren off the island, and in return you lend me the compass? You'll get it back in one piece.
You get rid of them both, mother and daughter.
That's the deal.
William, what do you say?
It's stew today.
Ah, good old Bill. All you ever think of is food. All right, Nate. If you get those two monstrosities off my island, I'll lend you the compass for a day.
Deal.
Deal.
I've got to go.
See you later.
See you later.
Perhaps Old Red's friends can persuade him to give me the compass. I'd better not. Old Red would notice if I moved the statue. The ape has got nothing to match the Van Buren's magic. But he could easily take me out if I try to steal the compass. The spirit compass. It can show the Archmage the way out of the spirit world. I only have to get rid of the Van Burens, then I get the compass. Sounds simple. The poor bird looks quite stressed out. I would be too if I was the one-man entertainer for a lunatic with a Medusa head. I wonder. You should give Nate the compass.
Huh? Nate, was that you?
No.
Liar. I mean, no liar.
I can see it's you, Nate. Imitating other people. You inflated barn cake.
Scandal.
Those aren't really friends of the Red Pirate. If they were, they'd have drawn his attention to the fact that he's completely lost his mind. I knew William. He doesn't talk as much now he's a statue, and he doesn't suffer from BO anymore. Few books are consulted for words of wisdom as often as this one, but I think they rarely help. The bird doesn't sound anything like William, but if Old Red can accept that William is now a statue, he's hardly going to care about his new voice. Perhaps Old Red's friends can persuade him to give me the compass. I'd better not. Old Red would notice if I moved the statue. There's a saying about people who bring knives to gunfights, and I don't even have a knife. Hello there.
What do you want? Go away!
I'm Nate. You're the Council Leader Van Buren's daughter, right?
Uh-huh. And you are not invited to my party.
Quite, pretty what you've done with the city.
I got it all out of my book. And Mommy says I've got a real artificial talent.
Artistic. Although, artificial works too. Wouldn't it be fun to move on and transform something else? Or to travel back to Seastone and have an afternoon nap?
Mommy's looking for the elf who stole things from us.
Yes, but aren't you the one in charge here? Just tell her you want to go somewhere else.
But I've got everything ready for my tea party, and the guests will arrive any minute.
But... A tea party, huh?
Exactly like in my book. I'm celebrating my birthday. I've got a table, tea, and lovely things to eat, and any minute now the guests will arrive. The Mad Hatter and the White Rabbit. And then I'll get presents.
I'd love to be a guest at your tea party.
Ew, you can't come. You aren't a Mad Hatter, and you're not a White Rabbit either. And you're a boy, and ugly.
Now listen here.
I can make you pretty.
Thank you, but that's not necessary. And this Hatter and Rabbit? Will you make them appear by magic?
No, I can only change things. They will come here. I've done everything exactly the same as in my book, so they've gotta come. I always get very angry if I don't get exactly what I want.
Okay.
And they all have to bring me presents, and when the Hatter and the White Rabbit are there, then Mommy has to come over as well. Right, Mommy?
What, sweetie?
When the other guests have arrived, then you'll come over too and give me an unbirthday present, right?
Of course, my sweet. As soon as a Mad Hatter and a White Rabbit appear, then I'll give you the most super-duper present ever.
Ha! Did you hear that? The biggest, bestest present ever!
Who is this Mad Hatter you're expecting?
He's a Hatter, and he's mad.
Uh-huh. And what is it that makes him a Hatter? And what makes him so mad?
He wears a top hat and a colorful neckerchief, and I'm not sure why he's mad, but he is.
I see. A white rabbit at a tea party? Curious.
You think?
Yeah, and perhaps you should give him a watch if he doesn't turn up soon.
No, my guests have to give me a present.
I've got to go.
Yes? Otherwise you'll scare my guests away.
Nate! What's going on? Why did you take Ivo's mirror?
Let's give them a bit of privacy. What do you think?
Private what?
What? I guess the connection was cut when I took the mirror.
No, the mirror is still transmitting. It's broadcasting the inside of your bag. Nice lint.
About the mirror.
Just a second. Something exciting's happening. I can't miss this.
Oh, good gods. Some happy children playing in a garden. Well. Hello?
Yes? What is it?
Now that you can only see the inside of my bag, you may as well just give me the mirror.
Put it back! I'm missing everything!
I'll put Ivo's mirror back and give you yours as soon as I don't need them anymore. I promise.
No, you'll only break it! It's one of the prettiest mirrors in my collection!
I gotta go.
Yes, go! Henceforth!
All right.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I'm transmitting the images of the happy playing children to the mirror in my bag.
But you're blocking my view!
It's important, and it won't take long, and you owe me one.
I owe you nothing! And you haven't got rid of the Van Burens yet!
Away we go. Cast off. A green top hat. It should be useful. Green top hats always are. Wasn't there a... Ah, there. The rabbit costume. Most of the I should be able to find something useful for dressing up here. White powder, for example. Anything else? Perfume atomizer. Empty, unfortunately. Nah, nothing of use. The Elf Burrow is one of the most beautiful spots imaginable, but a golden prison is Go over into the garden. There are plants and fruit there if you're hungry. Don't fancy greens, huh? Away we go. Cast off. Away we go. Cast off. Hello. I'm the Hatter. The Mad Hatter.
Just like in my book! Are you really mad?
Sure, completely insane. I think you're a revolting child, and you have terrible taste.
You must be really mad if you're making fun of me! Have you got a present for me, too?
I've got a great gadget for you. A magical communicator.
A what?
If you pull the string tight and someone speaks into the tin at one end, you can hear what he says at the other end.
That's completely lame! If you want something, then you could just scream loudly for it.
But it's not lame.
It is! And totally impractical, with all those cables and all. Huh. Now it'll work without the stupid cable.
Even better.
Say what? That isn't a present! I want a real present! Something that I can hold!
And what kind of presents would you like?
Good ones! Anyone wishing to come to my birthday party must give me a good present!
And what is a good present?
I like sweet and fluffy animals. I like things for girls. And I like fairy tales.
We haven't got a present for that brat yet, and I don't want to see Critter in drag for any longer than necessary. That would be quite funny, but this is not the right time. I like Critter, but I don't want to pick out curtains or anything. Away we go. Cast off. Bob said that only she can wake Ivo. It looks like she's asleep, but her father said it's more. Away we go. That's the old oasis of Brem. It was all... Cast off. Hi.
Oh, Hatter! Have you got a present for me?
I hereby present you with the insight that life isn't about receiving presents.
Say what? That isn't a present, stupid! I want a real present!
Yes, but you see,
Whatever! My mommy's gonna give me a real big present!
yes, but
I want a present!
a present! Of course! Perhaps you could help me again?
Shush, this is a really good bit.
Perhaps you could help me again?
Shush, this is a really good bit.
The Oracle doesn't like it when his mirrors are obscured. Perhaps I'll try to get rid of the Van Burens first, then he'll owe me a favor. Cast off. Hi.
Who are you? And what are you doing here?
So I should put obelisk B onto slab F, or something like that.
What are you talking about?
The instructions! At 3 o'clock, the shadow of the obelisk,
Why are you always saying things that don't make any sense? It's very irritating. Anyway, one also needs a bicycle, has to put 2 into the left-hand column, and then wait until the whole thing has been well roasted.
The operating manual mentions something about a wooden pin, and there's some rotten wood still sticking in the hole in the stone plinth.
Yes, we always had issues with the wooden pegs. Wood is easy to craft, but not as long-lasting as stone. I discovered something completely new in Mortimer's hut. Metal.
Metal?
Yes, but not bronze. Much harder, much more durable. I called it ugly super bronze. I brought a sample of it with me.
About the ugly super bronze.
The what?
The medal you found in Mortimer's house.
Who told you about that?
Ah.
One could build completely new types of weapons with this metal. Wood and bronze weapons would be useless. No one must find out until Lorem Ipsum has mastered the secrets of this material.
It is I, Pharaoh Tut-Tut.
Ah! The Pharaoh!
Yes, and I command you to give me the medal sample.
Wait a moment. The Pharaoh looked completely different to you.
It's been a long time since we saw each other last.
He's taller than you, and last time I saw him, he was dead.
I have to go. Hi.
Oh, hello.
You're right. Let's examine the medal for the good of Lorem Ipsum.
Absolutely. If we should ever get lazy and start to rest on our laurels, it could result in the town's downfall.
We, wouldn't want that to happen.
No. Wait here. What was I going to fetch again? I was just pulling your leg. I never forget anything.
Thank you.
What for?
This depression here, what is it?
That is a sun clock.
Why does the sun need to know what time it is?
No, the sun tells us how late it is.
So how does the sun know what time it is?
Haven't a clue. The shadow of the little stick in the middle tells us for definite when it is time to, do things.
There is no stick in the middle of the clock.
It must have been broken then. I think more has been broken too. Didn't it look completely different here before?
So I should put
What are you?
the
Why any?
I've gotta go.
Bye!
Fits like a glove. If the pipe fits the hole in the plinth exactly, then it'll also fit to the hole in the obelisk. I might be able to stand the obelisk upright, but there's no way I can heave it onto the stone plinth, even with a lever. The mummy said this is a sundial. A pole in the middle of the thing is supposed to show what time it is. The reed casts a thin shadow on the numbers and lines inside the clock. I might be able to stand the obelisk upright, but there's no way I can heave it onto the stone plinth, even with a lever. According to the operating manual, there's a place you have to press to open an entrance into the pyramid. But I can't just try and find it by looking around. That would take forever. Aye.
I think that we've met once before, haven't we?
I've got to go.
Bye!
Sand and shimmering air as far as the eye can see. Makes you wonder why Lorem Ipsum was built here. Away we go. After everything Ivo told me, Sea Stone is a no. Better that we're not his human version. Cast off. Violence is never the solution. In my experience, the absurd combination of bizarre objects is the solution. Always. The ape has got nothing to match the Van Buren's magic. He could easily take me out if I try to steal the compass. There's a saying about people who bring knives to gunfights, and I don't even have a knife. There's a saying about people. Give Nate the compass, bird brain.
Did you say that?
Huh? I'm over here.
Be careful what you say, William.
William's dead. I'm talking to you. I've had enough of you and this whole charade. Give Nate what he needs and let me go.
You ungrateful tit! I told you you're only to speak when I ask you something.
No one listens to you, Fatty.
Fatty? I won't be insulted by a feathered mongrel. One more word.
And what, bird brain?
Oh, just you wait. No, come back. Come back. Who's gonna talk to me now?
I'd better not. Old Red would notice if I moved the statue. The Medusa head is the only thing keeping Van Buren out. No one in their right mind picks a fight with old magic like that. Neither does Van Buren. Hello?
Aye? Have they gone?
Our deal stands?
Aye. You chase those two horrors off my island, and I'll lend you the spirit compass.
That's what I wanted to hear. I've got to go.
See you later.
The spirit compass. It can show the Archmage the way out of the spirit world. I'd better not. I'm afraid he'd like it, and then he wouldn't let me go again. The Red Pirate. Now even madder. The ape has got nothing to match the but he could eat. I think the parrot is happy not having to play the one-man entertainer in the madhouse anymore. Hey there, little fella. Come down here. Violence is in my... I think the parrot is happy not having... Perhaps you could help me again?
Shush, this is a really good bit.
The Oracle... The Oracle still doesn't want to give me the mirror. He says it's a collector's piece. I think he's actually hoping that something exciting is going to happen in my trousers, but I'm afraid he's going to be disappointed. About the mirror.
Just a second, something exciting's happening. I can't miss this.
Oh, good gods. Some happy children. Ivo's mother refused. Who cares if the future well, apart from me. The Oracle still doesn't want... I think he's... The Oracle doesn't like it. Lady Van Buren?
Yes.
And you're sure the elf's here?
Of course! She flew here from Seastone on a magic hippogriff. We followed her trail to here, and there are no indications that the hippogriff has flown on.
I've spoken to the Red Pirate. He says the elf fled before you even arrived.
Of course he says that, but he's hiding her!
I haven't seen her anywhere.
Then you haven't looked properly enough. I want that elf! Bring her to me!
Then I may take my leave, Lady Van Buren?
Yes, yes.
Hey there, little fella. Come down here. We haven't got a present for that brat yet, and I don't want to see Critter in drag for any longer than necessary. A heavy plank of wood. Not very long, but quite fat, just like the Mary. This mirror and the one from the observatory have a special connection. I could atomize water, but that alone won't help me. A fine white powder. It's used to make wigs white and to create mischief. Looks kind of ceremonial, but there's no reason why it can't be used as a normal hammer. A stone slab with characters in 3 different languages, and I can't read any of them. A huge flower. It's giving off an absolutely disgustingly sweet smell. A heavy plank of wood. Not very long, but quite fat, just like the Mary. The good captain always has the most important... If If these things could transmit voices over large distances without the string, the possible uses would be tremendous. You could contact people you didn't know and pretend to be someone else. Or you could call them up during mealtime in order to sell them something. Away we go. Cast off. Hey, Critter.
Huh?
You take over for a bit. I've got some thinking to do.
Luca. Mounts, Fatz. Gulur. Harsut quella. Pudalo put. Harax. Pull up those bronchom. Oh,
What's up?
wait.
Yeah, all right. I'll take over. Here, for you. Here, for you. Hey, Critter.
Huh?
You take over for a bit. I've got some thinking to do.
Luca. Wait. Mary. Looks like. Mary. Looks like.
Away we go. Cast off.
Vite! ¿Escuchas? ¡Con la labor!
Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary. She holds her position herself. Away we go. Cast off. Bob needs his sleep. I'm only supposed to disturb him if there's something new to report. Lorem Ipsum, the jewel of the desert at the foot of the three mountains. This little book helped me work out where it is.